What if the thing standing between you and your best performance yet isn't talent? It's trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the moment, trust that you don't need anyone else's approval to do the work. Welcome to Get Messy, the mindset space for creatives who want to build sustainable, successful careers without losing their sanity. I'm Maddie, professional performer of over a decade, future therapist, and the friend who will never BS you about what it takes to stay in the game. Today, I'm sitting down with Tamra Meskimen, actress, teacher, and co-founder of the Acting Center in Los Angeles. Tamra built her career from New York to Los Angeles, and now she's channeling everything she's learned into helping other artists find their footing. The Acting Center's philosophy is unlike most acting schools. It's possibly unlike every single acting school out there. They have a phrase called drama without trauma, building emotion from the present moment instead of using painful personal memories of your past. And instead of giving notes, they create a space where actors can take real risks without chasing anyone's approval. Why has this not existed for a bajillion and a half years? Because actors everywhere need this. In this episode, we get into why confidence is the core skill, how critique culture quietly kills originality, and what it takes to rebuild self-trust when the industry has knocked it out of you. We also talk about staying committed through COVID pivots, the strikes, and all the messiness of building a creative business on your own terms. If you've ever made yourself smaller to fit someone else's idea of what your work should look like, this one's for you. Without further ado, please welcome the wise and empowering Tamra Meskimen. So, Tamra, I'm so excited to have you on. I've had the pleasure of interviewing your husband, Jim, and your daughter, Taylor, and you guys all wear so many hats in the entertainment industry. You started your career in New York, and you're now located in LA. You've done live shows. You've been on numerous TV shows like American Crime Story, Impeachment, Physical, Bel-Air, General Hospital, 911. You've done voiceovers for TV commercials and radio commercials, and voiceover is how I met your daughter, Taylor. And you're one of the founders of the Acting Center, which is a school in LA teaching acting and improv. And at the Acting Center, your curriculum focuses on building confidence and independence, empowering actors to trust themselves, quiet their inner critic, and take ownership of their work, which is incredible. You've even trained Oscar nominees there, which is so cool. When you zoom out and you kind of look at all of this professional creative experience you've had, and you kind of zoom back into the current season of life you're experiencing, what would you title this chapter that you're currently in?
Well, I guess it would be, this has been kind of a passion of mine for quite a few years now. And it's helping other artists, helping other creatives. At the start of my career, it was about me, and about maybe my husband. But now I'm very interested in helping other artists.
Which I love, because part of your mission, and we're going to talk so much about the Acting Center, is empowerment. That's a word that you guys use a lot on your website. And I think from being an actor in LA, trying many different classes, you don't always feel that at a studio. Sometimes there's almost that complex of like, you need that teacher. Like they're making you question that inner critic that's being loud and almost looking to them for the answer rather than building that self-trust.
That's right. That's exactly why we started the Acting Center.
The interesting thing is you're an actor, so you're in charge of your own business as an actor, and you also own the business of the Acting Center. How do you juggle these two professional endeavors, and what challenges have you faced in juggling the two?
Luckily, they fit together. It's not like I'm an actress and then I have another business that, makes envelopes or something. Luckily, they dovetail and fit together. I teach at night, and I teach also during the day. So sometimes I have auditions that come up, and I'm like, I have to juggle trying to get those in as well as keep everything else going. But I think as actors, we're constantly doing that. You get the audition and you're like, well, okay, I have to drop everything and start to work on this. Luckily, I have Jim, I have Taylor. We help each other out on auditions. And with our technique that I use, obviously, it makes the audition process very easy to do. It doesn't take a long time to prepare for a part. I can do it relatively quickly when needed, or spend more time on it if I have the luxury of doing that. I'm a mom and a wife, so juggling all of those
responsibilities. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the nature of, I feel like the industry is so urgent, especially, I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like post-COVID, knowing that in voiceover, it's like, okay, can you do this by 5 p.m. today, like for an audition? And then even with self-tapes, I know they're trying to build a little bit more of a cushion, but because we don't have to drive all around LA and they don't have to kind of supply us with a place to show up to and have a meeting, I feel like it's become much more urgent post-COVID than it used to be.
It's changed dramatically with regards to that. The industry moves so fast now.
So fast. So like you said, having a system where you're like, I know how to like tap in quick, because typically you don't have the luxury of time, is so helpful. And pivoting into talking about the Acting Center, what was the moment specifically when you saw the problem in the industry when it comes to classes that we were kind of just talking about? What was the moment that made you think, I need to build something else? I need to build the Acting Center to supply artists with a place that curates more independence and empowerment for the artist?
I was part of an improv school in New York called the National Improvisational Theater. And we would see people coming in to take classes all the time that were broken. They felt they were broken. They had been to other classes and came in and said, I don't think I can do that anymore, so I'm going to try improv. And time after time, we would see it. And the improv in our improv environment was very similar to the environment we have here at the Acting Center too, which is just, let's create. We're not here to judge you. You have ideas. Come up with ideas. You know, it was very safe, kind of free environment to create in and allow somebody to create in. And people would just come alive again as artists. And when we moved from New York to LA, I ran into some other people that were like-minded in that regard. Eric Matheny, one of my other co-founders, because he was looking for the same thing. He had just left a class that was just brutal class. And he's like, there's got to be a better way to do this. But that was the impetus. I think it was just really seeing people come in to the studio in New York and just be like, oh no, I'm beaten down. I've been so beaten down. I feel like I can't do it anymore. So we're like, oh no.
I feel like sometimes actors were looking for someone to help us like write that permission slip to create. You don't need the permission. Like you get it just from walking in the door, being yourself, and like that opportunity to create. Like you said, like acting, we create it moment by moment to be what it is. So to give that type of space, there's two things that really stood out on your website that I want to talk to you about. And this one is kind of the perfect segue. The first one is, and I like caught my breath when I saw it after being an actor for so long. I was like, okay, drama without trauma. And on your website, it says, our non-trauma based approach frees actors to explore, experience, and improve without fear. Students learn to create deep and believable emotions in the present, not rely on past painful experiences. And this is huge because I think every actor in some way, shape, or form has experienced what you're describing, that trauma in an acting class before, where we've had to go find other teachers to learn how to be re-empowered and to trust ourselves and enjoy our craft again. Why specifically was it so important for you to state that on your website, that your classes are a trauma-free zone?
Because that is one way that we are vastly different. Probably most classes that you're going to go to are method-based. They're based on the original version of what Stanislavski developed, which he developed in a mental institution from reading psychological texts, of going back into your past experiences and trying to regurgitate those to bring real emotion to your work. And it's damaging. It's damaging to people. It's damaging to actors. And you cannot rely on your own experience for every part that you're going to play. Those are your emotions. They're not your character's emotions. Your character is a different person. And everybody expresses emotions differently. Your character is going to express emotions differently than you. It's something that people do all the time. We can turn on and off emotions at will. Kids are great at it.
They love doing it too. They're like, let me show you from full tantrum to like, I'm totally okay in 30 seconds flat.
Because you gave me what I wanted. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, great. I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Cool. They believe themselves like in both of those scenarios. But what I think you're also bringing up too, Tamra, it's so funny because I am in grad school right now for clinical mental health counseling. And so we are learning a lot of the different theories, and there's almost these two schools of thought. And one of them, like you're describing, is this constant regurgitation of the past. Let's dig there for the answers. And this other school of thought is like, yes, that happened. Yes, you're moving into the future and that's important. But like the here and now is the most important. And so there's all these theories that are developed now into this is the most powerful thing that we have. So like, let's focus in and ground ourselves there. And Gestalt therapy, which I had an old acting teacher, there's a technique in Gestalt therapy where it's like the empty chair technique where you are talking to an imaginary someone, the other character. So she would use it as an acting technique of like, if the other character is there, what would you say to them? Essentially knowing that they can't react to you. And now that I'm learning about Gestalt therapy, that's part of it. It's like, it's the here and now. We're focused on how you feel right now. And even for a class setting, what a beautiful thing to learn to trust your instincts and trust that you can tap into emotions that are created from your character, but you have access to them because on set, you know how it goes. If you're trying to rely on, I don't know, like this thing that happened to you when you were 10 years old and now you're on set where there's 100 people around you, like tugging at your clothes and you're standing in the light and like you don't have that access to that memory, like how terrifying too.
Exactly. But it's true. Yeah. Cause they are, it's like hair, makeup, and stand here and do this and get your life.
You're trying to connect to like 10-year-old Tamra's memory of the time your dad told you no. It's like, that's not practical for a professional stance. And then it's not helpful at all for you as the person and the actor. Another thing that I loved on your website, and I'm very curious about this. You said on your website that you guys have no notes. And the quote that you have is, your best work is fueled by your own instincts. Our instructors don't mold the actor's unique expression away from themselves and into their teachers. We don't critique their personal life. Instead, the actor works and risks freely, gaining greater clarity and trust in their own instincts and imagination. Originality and confidence are restored. I love this. And it's exactly what you and I were talking about of sometimes there's those teachers where you almost feel like they want you to depend on them for their expertise or their creativity. Can you elaborate on what drove this choice in like a no notes environment and how you've seen it benefit actors?
It's probably one of the most beneficial things, I think, because in the other scenarios of classes where a teacher is giving you notes, and sometimes they even open up to the class and the class gives you notes. And I mean, first of all, everybody has different ideas. Nobody has the same ideas. I mean, if you go into a museum, we would choose different paintings that we love. Art is not a science. It's based on opinion. It's based on what you like and what you don't like. So our art form is a collaborative art form. When you're on set, you're working with the director, and the director is the god of all of this. So you've got art department, lights, sound. Everybody is trying to give the director what he or she wants. So it's a collaboration of ideas to feed the vision that the director has in that collaboration. In a teaching environment, you want to allow the artists to explore what they want to explore, to create what they want to create. In the situations where the teacher's giving them notes, they're actually being more of a director. They're not being a teacher. And I think those two things get conflated. You know, the actor thinks, oh, they know better than I do. I need to try to please them. So you start to think like that teacher. Think like, what would they like? How would they want me to do it? How can I do it so that I can get through this and not get a bad critique? And that's how you start to work. And that is limiting. And it's not you. Those aren't your ideas. And when you take that away and let an artist go and create whatever they want, you know, whatever it is, and reach out into areas that they haven't reached out into or come up with imaginative things that are unique to them, they start to grow as an artist, and their confidence in their abilities to be able to deliver, it's quite something. I literally had a student come up to me the other night and said, thank you for having this place because I never would have been able to do what I did tonight somewhere else. And I was like, yep, that's why we're here. So you can take chances.
And that is the point of class, right? Like, I feel like most teachers say that when you're coming in, oh, okay, this is the place. This is the place to fall on your face. This is the place to try stuff and be big and be bold. But yet you said it so beautifully, Tamra. It's like, because they are technically giving you direction from their point of view of what their creative ideas and tastes are, you do start to kind of acquiesce in when you're prepping to like, what would they want or think, because I want to do well by their standards. And I really haven't thought about it in that way in a long time of like, of course, that is kind of putting guardrails around your creativity because you're making choices to be like, I really want to do well. Who doesn't want to do well? And I know what they would think is doing well.
Exactly. I want to pass the test.
Yeah. As opposed to like, what does making a really bold, risky choice that I think is bold and risky? And what's so beautiful about that too, Tamra, is like you or I could have the same character and we would make completely different choices because our POV is so different and they both would be right for the character.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what casting is doing too. When they put their 5 people up to producers, they're all different versions of that character. And anybody could do it. Any of those 5 are capable of it. And now it's up to the producers to decide what flavor they want.
Because like you said, they all could do it and they're all like the character, but now it's like the vibe and the flavor of that particular person and how that affects the story. You're a teacher and an artist. Does teaching other actors ever change how you see your own work? Or what is it that you find yourself learning from your students?
Well, going back to just making choices, I love to watch and see what they do. I'm always interested in what takes they're going to do because we do scenes and some of the scenes have been done by actors. I mean, I've been teaching for, 20 years or so, and I've seen these scenes that we have being done by different people over the years. And it's so interesting to see what people do with it. And watching them, I realize that this does work in that regard. And everybody is so unique. And so I think it forces me to do the same thing, just like really like, okay, good. What thing could I add to this character that would really bring it to life? I get inspiration from artists all the time. It's wonderful to watch other people work. I love to go see plays and just went to see All My Sons at Antaeus Theater. One of my students that I had years ago was in it and hadn't seen a really traditional play in a long time. And it was just fantastic to see other actors on stage working and what they were doing with these parts. It was just beautiful.
Yeah. And like what it like again to fill your cup and just to embolden you, like you said, to open up that creativity even more, just how expansive, like you're filling their cup and they're filling your cup constantly, which is like, what a beautiful exchange of creative energy. It's so interesting to me, Tamra, because you are an entrepreneur in the fact that you own your own business. I feel like acting, you're also an entrepreneur in the fact that you are your own business. So owning a business and then the business of acting, there are so many ebbs and flows of like the highs and the lows. And like, there's so much out of your control. How do you help yourself deal with both the ebbs and the flows and uncertainties of owning your own business and then also acting?
I mean, obviously, COVID affected us tremendously because everything was completely shut down and we had to pivot and totally commit to going online and being able to teach our classes online. Big pivot. And we had to reorganize our whole curriculum to do that. When we have uncertainties like that, I mean, because that was a big one, obviously, was like, okay, try to find a solution and just commit to it. Just go for it. And everything you've got into it. And that's the way it is with acting too. You commit, just commit fully. And then you kind of have to like walk away and go, okay, good. I did what I wanted to do. Because there are ups and downs. There's ups and downs in careers. There's ups and downs with businesses. We had strikes where people are like not working, can't afford acting classes. And we're trying to keep it all going while that's happening. But just committing to like, okay, good, we're here and do what you can. And we're here for you. And the business is going to get started up again soon. And you want to be ready for it.
Totally. I mean, really thinking about the last, 5 years, because like you said, your businesses dovetail into one another, affected so much change from COVID and the strikes. And Taylor and I were talking about back in the day, like we have the same voiceover agency. We would go in to our agency studio to audition. And so you have engineer giving you notes. You have them editing and picking your takes for you. You're seeing your agents all the time. It's a much more like community-based environment. And COVID happens. And now you're at home being your own engineer, your own director, your own like producer, picking your own takes in your studio. I'm like, what a different experience. And I think her and I both discussed, you were talking about needing to just accept it and go and like fully commit to what's at hand. I know myself and a lot of people were like, okay, I don't like this. This is really uncomfortable. I'm going to like half do it and then wait to go back to how it was. And then you're like, oh, it's not going to go back to how it was. So like, if you're still going to be in the game, what does making a choice and going for it, knowing like it'll change again. So for right now, this is the choice to like be all in and make this decision. And then as it shifts, it's like, okay, there's no half in, half out. It's like, this is the choice.
Yeah. It'll save you every time.
Every time. I know. I look back to the early COVID days. I'm like, this will be a couple of weeks. And it's like 8 months later. And we're like, hysterical. That, yeah, it did not happen.
That goes back with you saying, talking about being present, like being present in what's going on and being able to accept it and handle it.
Absolutely. And I mean, and that's again, kind of even going back to some of the things I'm learning about in grad school. That's the whole point of the here and the now. They're like, we worry so much about the future and we have no idea what's coming. Even in our conversation in the next 30 seconds, like we have no idea. We have an idea maybe, but like that might not happen. You know what I mean? And the past we can't change. And so it's like being in the here and now. That's it. This is really all we have. And so there's so much power in it. And when we let ourselves do that, I think we discover so much more than when we're trying to mold something to be a way it used to be or try to prepare for something we can't see yet. And that's even you said, like with the classes, the work will come back. So are you going to be ready when it does come back? By right now, the only thing you can control is doing what you can with your craft. And another thing you made me think about was I just interviewed this other actor who's in a very, very bountiful season of her career and working a lot, but still auditioning a lot. And one of her old teachers back when she was getting her BFA in acting was like, your job is auditioning. That's it. That's your job as an actor. Everything else is gravy on top of that. But like, that's the only thing you have control over. You never have control if it leads to set. So when you were just talking about exactly that, like focus on the auditions and then let the powers that be take it wherever it'll go and you'll arrive at whatever that is. Like the only thing you have control over is like, okay, I have the opportunity to audition. How am I going to arrive?
Which is why it's so important to arrive the way you want to arrive, not the way somebody else thinks you should.
I feel like there's going to be so many actors listening to all of this and being like, okay, I needed to hear this to reclaim their own sense of creativity and identity. And you work with so many actors, I'm assuming of like different ages from all over, different backgrounds coming to you, different experience levels. Is there a main thing you see actors struggle with in your studio with their craft? And then is there a main thing you see people struggle with in regards to the business side of the industry?
Yes. With their craft, I think it's their self-confidence because they're looking for approval from outside. And that's another reason why we take that away. Because if you have confidence in your ability to do something, it comes across. And that's what casting directors want to see too. They want a confident actor to come in and deliver the product. Whether it's the right product for this project or not, it doesn't matter because if they come in confidently and make a choice and deliver a great scene, they'll think about them for something else. And it's that self-confidence of like, did I do it okay? Because kids are not critical of themselves. You learn to be critical of yourself when other people criticize you. Kids are like, they draw a picture and they give it to mom and they're like, look what I made. And the grass is blue and the sky is green. It's like their creation. And if the mom's like, oh, well, the grass is green, honey, and the sky is blue, that just, that squashes that creation right then and there. And the kid thinks, oh, mom knows better. I don't know. And when you take that out of training, an actor, it's the most beautiful thing I think you can give an artist.
Truly a gift. And it's so funny, Tamra, because it sounds so simple when you say it, but then every actor listening to this is going to know exactly what you mean because of all the training they've received that has not been in line with what you've just talked about.
It's rampant in the industry. And also that self-confidence helps you when you get on set because you do get in that collaborative environment where the director comes up and goes, okay, good. That was good, but it's not exactly what I want. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to, and he gives or she gives a direction or changes the thing. And you can go, okay, I get what you want. Great. I'm going to do that rather than, oh, I'm terrible. I suck. I can't. Oh. And then you just crash and burn because you've been criticized, because it's going to happen. You're going to get on set and it's, this or that, or you get on set and they change it because, you get on a comedy that's like a 3-camera filmed in front of a live audience. And they're like, okay, great. That was great. Now we're going to change this line and we're going to change this blocking and we're going to, and then go. You have to lock it and go. And you have to have the confidence in your abilities to be able to deliver, not sit about and think about, what do they mean? And I don't know if I can, You don't have time to do that. That self-confidence will save you really every time because it helps you to be able to deliver on set as well as bring something to the party that maybe nobody else thought of.
That only you can.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one as far as that goes. The business side, I think it's promotion. I think actors, they don't promote enough and they think it's just their agent's job to get them an audition.
Oh, Tamra. Yeah. And you know what's funny? Your husband, Jim, I loved that part of the conversation we had. And I've spoken to your daughter, Taylor, about that too, because I completely agree. Like when Jim was saying it, I'm like, this makes so much sense, but oh my gosh, I wish there were 100 actors listening to him say this right now, because there's kind of this like swirling mentality of like, how do I get a better agent or how do I get a agent? So much focus on that being like the key to the kingdom. And we know like that's one piece of the entire pie of your career, and they have other clients. So like only part of their day or their week is even going to be focused on you. Other people need to know that like you exist and you indeed act. What do you, I guess, tell people about self-promotion? Because I feel like it's a mental block. I feel like a lot of actors are, and this is my own interpretation, maybe either a little bit afraid of being seen and being heard, even though they want to be seen or be heard, or they feel it's cringy to like put themselves out there and kind of be declarative of like, I'm an actor and I feel like I'm excited to show you this, or I'm good at XYZ. So they don't. And they kind of like hide.
This is one of the things, because Jim and Taylor probably both told you, this is one of the main things we do and have done to run our careers is promotion. And, now it's so easy because you can film yourself and put things up on social media. It's like you can put a little clip of you doing a monologue or a scene that you did, and you can put it up there on social media, on YouTube. You can create your own content. I just watched a video today of a friend of mine who put up a little comedy clip where she plays both people in the club. And I think it's part of creating your career and trying to reach casting directors. It used to be so much easier to reach casting directors because they had a physical location, but now it's even harder. But there are lists you can get. And we still send postcards. And there've been times over the years, I've had one of my other teachers go in for an audition. She's like, oh, I saw your postcard up on the bulletin board.
And it's like a little reminder. Like that's what Jim was even talking about. Like it's just to remind them, hey, we're there and we're excited to, if there's ever an opportunity. I love what you said, Tamra, of like creating your career. Because again, I think so much of what you've been talking about with your school is like the ownership, the empowerment that like it's your ideas and your imagination and your creativity. And it's the same thing on the business side. Like this is your career. That's so beautiful. Like, I just haven't heard it in that way, maybe ever or in a really long time, of this is elements of you creating your career. I think we forget, or I think we have the fear of coming off a certain way, or it's so up here in our head. And just by taking the action and being a little bit bolder, we have no evidence. If we do something like, even if people are not accepting it, what does it really matter? Because like you said, there could be that one other person that's like, oh my God, the Meskimens, like I've got this great role for Tamra. I didn't even think about her because I haven't seen her in a bit. And I just got their postcard. And now I'm like, let's call her in because we're casting tomorrow for this. There's so much more benefit than anything negative that can come from it.
2 of the shows that I did last year, I didn't even have to audition for. They just gave them to me.
Wow. That's nice.
I think, and that's the power of promotion.
Okay, you guys have heard it here. That's amazing. Seriously, the power of promotion, because they're thinking of you, because you're giving them opportunities to even be reminded of you. Thinking about this creative career, what is the hardest part of being a creative that no one really warns you about?
You really have to push things aside for a moment to be able to do it. There's so many activities, and especially as a mom or parent, you've got a lot of things going on in your life. And I think it's really finding that time to create and just setting that time aside. And that could be for promotion. What am I going to creatively do on my Instagram today to send out something. I think people that aren't creatives think, oh, it's just like, they just do it, and it's like, it's so easy. But you have to invest in it and you have to keep working at it. Because I think the more you do it, the more your imagination fires, the more ideas you come up with, the more you grow as an artist if you keep creating. At least that's what I have found is the hardest part for me, is just like really finding that time to just do it.
Even as you were saying that too, Tamara, I was thinking, because it is so true. It's like the more that we lean into action instead of the brain analyzing and trying to make sense of it, and then we can get into that analysis paralysis and not taking the action, you're also quieting that self-critic. Like that self-critic doesn't appear as often when you're more in the motion of the doing versus the thinking.
That's so true.
I feel like there's a thing too with actors. Taylor and I were talking about it even with voiceover. When you've been doing it for a while, you develop a confidence of like, okay, I know what I'm doing, but everything's new. Every job, there's elements of it that are the same. And then there's elements I'm like, I can expect it to maybe be like this, but I know there's going to be curveballs because it's a new client, it's our new producer. So even doing it for 10 years, I'm like, every session, there will be something that will challenge me that I haven't probably experienced before. And I think that happens a lot when we're growing. It's like we are developing these certain levels of confidence, but because we're kind of constantly pushing into territory that we're uncomfortable in, there's other thoughts or feelings that can come up that could almost resemble doubt. And it's this weird, like, wow, I'm holding space for confidence and doubt at the same time. Does that ever happen to you? And if so, what do you do when confidence and doubt appear at the same time?
Yeah, you got to lean into the confidence. It's like, even when it's like, creating characters and stuff, make a decision. It's better than no decision. Commitment, to me, it conquers a lot. So when you just commit to something that you're doing, the things that you think are there, because a lot of it can be just, your own stops that you're putting there, past experiences or whatever. And those things kind of vanish as you commit.
Oh, I love that, Tamara, because it's true. Sometimes the self-doubt, the thing that we're even afraid of, there's really no evidence to. It truly is like the obstacles of our own creation. So I love it. You're like, I'm not even going to entertain you or listen to you. I'm going to go full on into the confidence and we're going to own that instead. I see this sometimes with actors that we have this dream and we are so excited when we finally get the opportunity to really sink our teeth in and start pursuing it. But it's almost like a version of our identity can kind of get attached to this idea of what we think the dream will look like. And then as we keep growing and evolving, we're still attached to one version of it rather than letting that dream evolve with us. And I see when actors finally let the dream meet up with them and kind of realize like it might not look the way they thought it was going to. And that's probably a great thing. And letting it be more expansive. There's so much growth. And I see a lot of pain when people aren't willing to let go of this one vision or version of the dream and let them kind of figure out what it looks like. The dream you had when you were younger, is that still your current dream or how has it evolved over time?
Oh, it's definitely evolved. And age will do that. I don't play the ingenues anymore. And, you do have to evolve with it. And I think this is what a lot of actors feel too. It's like we love to act. Whatever it is, we love to do it. We'll do it even when we don't get paid for it. We want to get paid for it. We want to get the big roles, but we love to do it. And that keeps us traveling through the years and at least has for me to evolve into great. I mean, I'm actually working probably more now in the last like 5 or 6 years than I did earlier in my career. I mean, and Jim's mom was the same. She didn't start working until was 40. She worked, but she had her major breakthrough with Happy Days when she was 40 years old. So it keeps evolving. I think the way my dream has kind of evolved over the years too is now it encompasses more people because I want other people to achieve their dreams. I'm interested in helping them do it. So that I think has opened it up a lot, which I love because I just think it's fun to watch other people. I get so excited when somebody in my class books, school. I keep track of it. I'm like, we have a board at the school that's a blackboard that we write everybody's bookings on and
celebrate each other.
Yes.
Yeah. I always think it's like the high tide raises all ships. To be able to celebrate our peers and be in that community together, I think it's so great. Like when we take the pressure off of ourselves, I think we do a lot better work. Even in a scene, if I'm more focused on you as my scene partner versus me and what I'm doing, this will be so much better, not only experientially, but I'm doing my job then, because it's not about me. It's about like the we in the scene and what we're doing. So even as a person, like when you're giving that gift and truly being present with other people on their creative journey and celebrating their wins, you get to like flourish in that like beauty with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually one of our rules of improv. Save the other person. You're there for them.
Which again, like what a gift. You're like, I don't have to worry about me. I just get to help you. That's actually sounds a lot better than me worrying about what I'm doing. Is there actually, this can transcend to relationships, family, your community, everything. Is there a fear, Tamra, that you feel like you're currently rewriting?
I guess you start out in life where I did. It's like you want to make a difference. You want to contribute something. So I think that's been something that am still pushing forward with the school, because I feel like it's time to really get out of these old acting techniques and come into a new place in a new era with something new and workable that really helps and to make a difference with artists in general. And so I think that's what pushes me forward with this.
That's amazing. No, and it sounds like you're, again, empowering so many artists. I mean, what a beautiful gift, again, to give to all these people. And then they're doing the same out in like their creative circles. And so it's a gift that keeps on giving because it's built on positivity versus trying to like keep everybody contained and keep them down. You use a lot of creative energy as an actor, and you're helping a lot of other people refine their creativity with the business you run. How do you recharge your creativity?
I love to go to live theater. I like to look at what other actors are doing, and art museums even. I love to just see art. I think anything artistic is inspiring to me. It makes me think differently, triggers my imagination. And I play guitar. I like to do other things that are artistic, and I like to garden. Being outside is so creative to me. I love to do that. It gives me energy.
A through line of everything that you just mentioned did not involve a screen.
It does not. Exactly. Very true.
It was out and open and like in the world, soaking up, like you said, gardening, like being in the sun, being with the plants and the dirt. And I'm the same as you, like watching live theater or going to a museum and having it just be there in front of you and just being able to, like you said, soak it in and whatever it may be, and playing the guitar. So I was like, oh, easy through line, no screens involved in what recharges your creativity.
I hadn't noticed that, but you're right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a good like reminder that it's usually probably not in the phone or on the computer. It's like us looking out and seeing other things that we might not get, because I feel like we have to sometimes be on our screens because of the nature of how some of the businesses change. And so what a gift to be like, okay, creativity, like computer closed, phone on, do not disturb. I'm going to the art museum. I'll see you in 3 hours. Tamra, we're on our last couple of questions, which I can't believe this has been a treat. The podcast is called Get Messy because I think so much of the process is messy, and it should be messy. And we try to make it clean, and that doesn't work. It's like if we just appreciate and embrace the messiness, that's usually a better way forward. What is the messiest thing about you?
I mean, life is messy. It just is. It's messy. And I tend to try to get organized, but go off in all directions because that's the nature of, I mean, we're all here, we're working in our house, and Jim's doing his videos and Taylor's following him around and asking him to do certain impressions. And I'm at my desk trying to like write an article for the Acting Center. And it is kind of embracing the messiness, trying to put order in when you can and where you can, but just realizing, because I realized that the other day, I was kind of like, okay, this isn't going to change. Be willing to move and change tactics and all of that so that you can get it all done.
Just life is messy. And I think the words that are coming to mind, Tamra, are like, there's this flexibility, especially in life in general, but especially this career where you're like, have a plan the best you can and then be willing to like wiggle through whatever comes up that needs your attention then. And like the acceptance, like you just said, oh, this is just how it's going to be. Like the acceptance of, okay, like this is the arena we're playing in. Cool. What do you feel like you're still trying to figure out?
Oh gosh, everything. Situations are changing. Life as we knew it is very different now. Definitely technology, I think, would be one of the main things that I have to try to stay ahead of. And it moves really fast. And I don't have a lot of time sometimes to even sit. I'm trying to embrace AI right now and just go like, okay, this is here. I need to learn about it. I need to understand it so that I can use it and understand how it can be used so that I'm not feeling totally effective it, because it's going to affect us. It will.
You know, I started this podcast a year and a half ago, and I remember one of the first people I had on was one of my dear, dear friends, Ben Drew, who's a voiceover artist, and he's a producer and a director and an actor. And we, talked about AI. He said the same thing. He's like, I was so afraid of all the change it was going to bring. And he's like, I realized like how unhelpful that was. It is here. And he's like, I'm just trying to learn more about it and embrace it in the ways I can so that I'm not 3 years from now being like, oh, I wish I just embraced it a little bit more because now I have to. Now it's such a factor that's interwoven. So I appreciate that because I think, it's not going anywhere. So it's like knowing that we are not going to be the force to like dismantle it. It's like, how can we embrace it and learn about it and use it to the best of our abilities?
Yeah, I totally agree.
You have so much going on personally and professionally. What are you excited about right now, both personally and professionally?
I guess with the Acting Center, we just launched our new website. Eric, one of the co-founders, worked very hard on that and designing it and everything. He did such a good job. And so that's just launched. And we also are working on an app for our classes and also to be able to use outside of class, which would be another tool to use for auditions and various different things. And we want to expand into, online courses eventually. We do still teach on Zoom, but we need to expand out of this and into, we already reach people. I had a guy in my class from Russia, my last class. Like we get people in Europe and Canada and Australia and India, and it's kind of fascinating being online and being able to do that. So we want to reach more people. We really want to change the way acting is taught. I'm excited about that. And just whatever jobs I can get. I love working, and it sounds like things are opening up a little bit more. Things are getting up and running. So let's do it.
It finally seems like the trend. I think that it could be so easy to fearmonger and be afraid and be like, oh my gosh, it seems like there's nothing happening, or you're hearing all the stuff's going to Europe. And I feel like the tides have turned. I feel like there's something about this, especially spring, like we're in the new season of spring. It feels very powerful and potent. Like a lot of people seem excited. There's a lot of opportunities flowing. So I'm with you. I'm like, we are ready. Let's go.
Do it.
Tamra, it's been such a joy hanging out with you. I'll put everything in the show notes, but social media, your website, where can people come hang out with you more?
Yeah, we're doing Instagram. Our Instagram is the Acting Center LA. And Amanda, my lead teacher, and I, we do Instagram lives lately. So sometimes we put those up. Our website is theactingcenterla.com. And then we also have YouTube at the Acting Center. Yeah. I guess those are the main places.
You're covered. It's like you've got all the places and many ways to connect with you guys. So I'll include all of that into the show notes. And Tamra, I can't wait. There's so many actors and creatives that I think are going to really feel seen in this conversation. So I just appreciate you coming on and being so vulnerable and present. I think it's going to continue doing your mission of empowering more and more people.
Oh, thank you, Maddie. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you.
Thanks, Tamra. You're the real hero if you've made it this far. Thanks so much for hanging out today, and check out the show notes for any resources or cool info mentioned in today's episode, or places to follow along if you want to hang out some more. I'm rooting for you today and always. Stay messy.